We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are reading from Adi Leela, chapter 4, text 189. E virodera ekamatra dekhi samadhana gopikar sukha Krishna sukhe paryavasana. For this contradiction, I see only one solution. The joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved Krishna. So we have been hearing that the gopis are saying, we are maintaining our life only for you, my dear Krishna. Only to see you happy, we are maintaining our lives. We are alive just to give you joy. That's what the gopis are saying. We are alive, we live, we exist for your pleasure. And then what happens? So they are giving pleasure to Krishna. And so Krishna feels pleasure. Now, seeing Krishna happy, the gopis are feeling 1,000,000 times more happier than Krishna is feeling happy himself. And he's scratching his head and saying, hey, what's happening? The gopis want to see me happy, and so I'm happy. And seeing me happy, they are feeling more happy. They're feeling happier than me. And like this, there's a constant competition between Krishna and the gopis. So each is getting more and more happier. So purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the situation of the gopis is perplexing. For although they did not want personal happiness, it was imposed upon them. The solution to this perplexity is that Sri Krishna's sense of happiness is limited by the happiness of the gopis. Devotees at Vrindavan therefore try to serve the gopis, namely Radharani and her associates. If one gains the favor of the gopis, he easily gains the favor of Krishna, because on the recommendation of the gopis, Krishna at once accepts the service of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya therefore wanted to please the gopis instead of Krishna. But his contemporaries misunderstood him. And for this reason, Lord Chaitanya renounced the order of householder life and became a sannyasi. So Krishna's, by seeing the gopis happy, Krishna is feeling happy. And the gopis are happy when they see Krishna happy. So what's happening? So then that's the reason Lord Chaitanya is saying, you want to gain the favor of Krishna, you want to attract the mercy of Krishna, you attract the mercy of the gopis. Attract the mercy of the gopis. Because if you're recommended by the gopi, Krishna will at once accept you. At once he will accept. And so there was a mood when Lord Chaitanya was singing the names of the gopis, but his students misunderstood. They said, why are you singing the names of the gopis? But Lord Chaitanya at that time was in his ecstatic mood. So he came running behind the boys. They were disturbing his ecstatic mood. But then he realized that in this way, people are committing offenses against him. So how is he going to give love for Krishna to everyone? He came to give love for Krishna to everyone. So he became a sannyasi. That's the reason he became a sannyasi. So that at least just by bowing down to him, people will make spiritual progress. People will get purified. Because sannyasi, when you see, then it's automatically we offer them obeisances. So what is the mood then? The Brajbasis, they are calling Radhe Radhe. If we go to Vrindavan, the Brajbasis always will say Radhe Radhe. Why? Because they know that if they approach Krishna through the gopis, through Radharani, immediately Krishna will be attracted. That's the reason Lord Chaitanya has given us this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. When we are calling out Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are calling out to Srimati Radharani. Hare. Hare is O Hara. O Hara. She's the energy of the Lord. That's Srimati Radharani. O Madhara, kindly engage me in the service of Father Krishna. And that's the reason Lord Chaitanya has given us this Hare Krishna mantra, so we can easily, without any much effort, gain the favor of Krishna. Otherwise, it's very difficult to know Krishna, very difficult. It's not easy to know Krishna at all, but only by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, he's made it so easy for us to approach Radha and Krishna. So reading on, Gopika Darshane Krishna Rabade Prafulata Se Madhurya Bade Yara Nahika Sammata. When Lord Krishna sees the gopis, his joy increases and his unparalleled sweetness increases also. So Krishna is happy just by seeing the gopis. And because he's happy, he's so sweet already. There's no one sweeter than Krishna. His sweetness also increases. You know, it's such a contradiction. He's unlimitedly sweet. His sweetness is complete. It's complete and yet increases. How can something which is complete have room for increase? How can someone who's completely happy feel more happy when it's already complete? But all the inconceivable contradictions find their answer in the inconceivable potency of Krishna. He is inconceivable to our material minds. Amara darshane Krishna paila ete sukha, e sukhe gopira prafula angamukha. The gopis think Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me. That thought increases the fullness and beauty of their faces and bodies. So a woman, what happens when she understands the man really loves her? When she's confident of his love, in her heart, her affection increases. Her heart becomes more blissful. Because of the confidence of the love of the lover. So here the gopis are saying, oh, by looking at me, Krishna is so happy. Just by looking at me, Krishna is so happy. And that increases the joy in their hearts, and their faces and the bodies become more beautiful. Because their hearts are so happy. Oh, Krishna is happy just looking at me. He loves me so much, you know. So even a girl and a boy, the affection is there. And when the girl is confident of the affection of the boy, then the bliss in her heart increases. And with that bliss in her heart, her body increases, the beauty of the body increases. Gopi Shobha Dekhi, Krishnera Shobha Bade Yata, Krishna Shobha Dekhi, Gopira Shobha Bade Tata. The beauty of Lord Krishna increases at the sight of the beauty of the gopis. And the more the gopis see Lord Krishna's beauty, the more their beauty increases. So here there's a transcendental competition. So because now the gopis saw Krishna and they saw, oh, Krishna is so happy to see us, so they became beautiful. They became even looking more beautiful and they are smiling even more. Now looking at them more beautiful, what happens? Krishna becomes more beautiful because he's so happy to see them. So he starts looking more beautiful. And then the gopis become more beautiful. So it's transcendentally increasing unlimitedly. They're looking at each other and they're feeling more and more happy, and they're both becoming more and more beautiful. Transcendental. E mata paraspara pade huda hudi paraspara bade keha mukha nahi mudi. In this way, a competition takes place between them in which no one acknowledges defeat. No one acknowledges defeat. So the gopis are happy to see Krishna. Krishna is happy to see the gopis. They both feel more and more happiness, more and more happiness. Kintu Krishnera sukhahaya gopi rupa gone. Tanra sukhe sukha vriddhi hai gopi gane. Krishna, however, derives pleasure from the beauty and good qualities of the gopis. And when the gopis see his pleasure, the joy of the gopis increases. So Krishna gets very happy when he's seeing the beauty, the love of the gopis. What is the good qualities of the gopis? Their intense love for him. The beauty, why they are so beautiful, because they love him so much. And when the gopis are seeing how happy Krishna is feeling, they feel happy. The gopis are feeling happy. Ateva se sukha Krishna sukha poshe e hetu gopi preme nahi kama doshe. Therefore, we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of Lord Krishna. For that reason, the fault of lust is not present in their love. By looking at the beautiful gopis, Krishna becomes enlivened. And this enlivens the gopis whose youthful faces and bodies blossom. So Krishna is looking at the gopis and he's feeling happy. And then the gopis are feeling happy. Oh, that Krishna is so happy, and they become more beautiful. This competition of increasing beauty between the gopis and Krishna, which is without limitations, is so delicate that sometimes mundane moralists mistake these dealings to be purely amorous. But these affairs are not at all mundane, because the gopis' intense desire to satisfy Krishna surcharges the entire scene with pure love of Godhead, with not a spot of sexual indulgence. So our hearts are full of lust. Our hearts are full of lust. So we might think this thing that's happening between Krishna and the gopis is also lust. We might try to understand it from that perspective, because our perception is of lust. So we might try to approach it with the lusty view. But there is no lust in the gopis' love. It's only pure love. It's pure love. And that's the reason it's so pleasing. That's the reason it keeps on increasing, makes it more and more beautiful, and so much increases the joy unlimitedly of the gopis and of Krishna. So it is, and if we try to approach it with our lusty minds, we won't be able to understand it. We won't be able to understand, because this is pure love. And, so it's very difficult to understand, oh, what is pure love? So we hear it in submission, hearing from the acharyas in submission. We can also pray. I'm not able to understand this, my dear Radharani, my dear Krishna, my dear gopis. I'm not able to understand it. Please kindly give me the devotion, kindly give me the love by which I may be able to understand it. Upetya pati sundari tatibir abir abhyar chitam smitan kurakar karam biter natad apanga bangi shatahe stana stavaka sancharan nayana chanchari kanchalam braje vijayinam bhaje vipina deshataha keshavam. I worship Lord Keshav. Coming back from the forest of Braj, he's worshipped by the gopis, who mount the roofs of their palaces and meet him on the path with 100 manners of dancing glances and gentle smiles. The corners of his eyes wander like large black bees around the gopis' breasts. This statement appears in the Keshav Ashtaka 8 of the Stavamala, compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. So Srila Rupa Goswami has compiled the Stavamala, out of which there is Keshav Ashtaka. And so the verse 8 of this, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying he worships Lord Keshav. Srila Rupa Goswami is a Babaji in Vrindavan. He's renounced the world. He wears nothing but a loincloth. Not a loincloth, but just a small cloth covering his body. Doesn't even have a house, lives under a different tree every night, has no possessions. He's only busy writing the Bhakti Shastras, only busy hearing Bhagavatam and discussing the topics of Krishna and of Lord Chaitanya with the other devotees, other Goswamis. And what is he saying? What is he saying? And he's a totally renounced person. He's a pure devotee. He is saying he worships Lord Keshav. And what is Keshav doing? He's coming back from the Vrindavan forest. He's coming back from the forest. And who is he being worshipped by? He's worshipped by the gopis. Where are the gopis? They are on the roofs of their palaces. They are on the roofs of the palaces. And how are they meeting Krishna? By their glances, by gently smiling at him, shyly looking at him. Their eyes are dancing everywhere in joy looking at Krishna. And then what is Krishna doing? Where are his eyes? His eyes are like black bees around the gopis' breasts. So now we might say, what is a renunciate Babaji, Rupa Goswami? He's talking about the gopis' breasts and Krishna looking at that. Isn't this lust? What is this happening? But this is pure love. There is nothing lusty in this, in between Krishna and the gopis. There is no lust involved there. And that is the reason a purely liberated great soul as Rupa Goswami can speak such things. Or Sukadev Goswami, when he's speaking the Bhagavatam in the 10th canto, he's able to speak such things because it's not mundane. It is purely, it's pure love. Ara eka gopi premera swabhavika chena ye prakare haya prema kama gandahina. There is another natural symptom of the gopis' love. That shows it to be without a trace of lust. Gopi preme kare Krishna madhurye pushti madhurye bhadaye prema hana mahatushti. The love of the gopis nourishes the sweetness of Lord Krishna. That sweetness in turn increases their love, for they are greatly satisfied. So the gopis love Krishna so much, and by the gopis' love, Krishna maintains his sweetness, nourishes the sweetness of Lord Krishna. His sweetness becomes even more and more apparent because of the love of the gopis. And because they are able to experience this sweetness of Lord Krishna, their love for him increases. So the gopis are so loving to Krishna, and Krishna is so sweet to them. And looking at and experiencing Krishna's sweetness, their love for Krishna increases. So this is pure love. It is not mundane lust between ordinary boy and girl. Priti vishayanande tad ashrayananda tanhanahi nija sukhavanchara sambandha. The happiness of the abode of love is in the happiness of the object of that love. This is not a relationship of desire for personal gratification. So the abode of love, the happiness of the abode of love. Who's the abode of love? The gopis. The gopis are the vishaya, the abode, because they have the love. And who's the object of love? That's Krishna. The object of love is the ashraya. The object. I'm sorry, the ashraya is the abode. I'm sorry. Ashraya is the abode of love. That are the gopis. And Vishaya is the object of love. That's Krishna. Now, because the happiness of the gopis is in making Krishna happy. That's all they want. They just want to see Krishna happy. So it's not a desire that I want to be happy. They want Krishna to be happy, their object of love to be happy. And that's why it's pure love. It's not for themselves, not that I will be so happy, but how will Krishna be happy? So this is, we can know it is pure love and not lust. So are there any comments or any questions?
No, all clear.
Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Prem Nande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.